Hello everyone and welcome to Global Spec Racing. We are here for round 6 of Tier 2 and it seems to be an all dry qualifying session today. Joining me in the comms box is Ryan Ocon. How are you doing, mate? Don't know if you've reconnected, I know you went to go change your headset. But yeah, Ryan will be joining me in the comms box today. And last weekend it was an interesting one in Britain. Very nice close racing for the lead, and the Aston Martin driver of Kieran did come out on top in that one, so he won with fastest lap. Vapor JS came second, he got pole, so he gets 19 points. And then in third came Lando Norris, he is now a full-time Alpine driver. Razor and Nosman, the two Red Bulls, they came in 4th and 5th. Mac Biteman, he was a Tier 3 reserve. Sorry, yeah, he was a Tier 3 driver who reserved, and he came in P6, great showing for him. Fatboy and Slim in P7, Hooky in P8, Wingo in P9, and just Dylan Boy in P10. So, what does that mean for the point standings then? Well, let me show you. Wingo has actually dropped points to Vapor.js, and he is sat on 62 points, whereas Vapor is sat on 56 points. 3 points behind him is Kieran. And then in 4th is Lando with 51 points. Very good battle there for P2 in the championship at the moment. Nosman, he's in P5. It's become a really good showing for the Red Bull driver here. Really showing his pace. Alistair's in P6. It's then Rambo in P7, FR77 in P8, Razor in P9, Morgan in P10. Just Dylan Boy is in P11 and Beatnik in P12. Jimbo, he's P13, and then It's Shot, GRT Andrew, Ryan Ocon and Mac Biteman, they're 14, 15, 16, 17. And then in 18th is Fatboy and Slim, MNK Boy, he's 19th. Kludgy Duck is in 20th, Hooky is in 21st, and then the last driver to have scored a point this season is Davis 2K7. So it's going to be an interesting one, and here's Ryan now. How you doing, lad?
I'm doing good. I apologize. I took a little bit extra time with fixing my headset. I had to switch headsets, so I apologize.
Well, that's no worries, mate. Obviously we're here. We had Tier 3 yesterday. Bit of a mess, let's say that. I don't personally want to relive that moment.
I think we both feel the same way.
Yeah.
One thing I will say though,
from
Tier 3,
if you don't know.
One thing I will say that I think we do need to look out for though, is the safety car restarts, because something I noticed in the Tier 3 that I raced that I didn't point out a whole lot yesterday is, I don't know if where you were in comparison to where I was in the race, but compared to where I was, a lot of the time when it said prepare to resume racing, it was at the second last corner. They'd go and then they'd like slow down a little bit because of the reaction time to when they think the leader would go. So that's something I want to watch out for today.
I think that might be a glitch, because I know if the safety car's not fully in the pit lane,
yeah,
and the driver gets close,
it backs them up, yeah,
it completely cuts off the throttle. So
that's something we're gonna have to watch out for then.
I think it might be. Oh, it's Aaron. Aaron sets the fastest lap on a set of mediums. It's then going to be his team. No, it's not. It's going to be... It would have been a McLaren, but I think they were invalid. It's going to be Kludgy Duck then. He's going to come across the line, set a second lap. And Kludgy Duck, he comes across the line, a 17.0. So he's gone about 1.2 seconds quicker than his teammate. Next across the line, I think it's going to be... it's going to be FR77. Obviously, we didn't have Hungary on the calendar last season. Whoa! FR with a massive snap out of the penultimate turn there.
Jeez.
But, yeah, we didn't have Hungary on the calendar last season. So we don't really know what to expect from some of these drivers. But, I think that's the beauty of it. We don't really know what to expect. Obviously,
yeah,
you'd expect the drivers like Wingo, who's invalidated his lap, unfortunately. Morgan then. Very good lap there for Morgan. Obviously Morgan, he's been kind of midfield, I'd say, this season. Maybe this is his chance to show he can fight with the big boys.
Gotta remember too, that lap was on the softs, and I think Kludgy Duck's lap was on the mediums, so
yeah, that's a good point there.
It's an 8-10 difference, but the thing is, with the way Hungary is compared to the softs and mediums, you're gonna see a major difference between that. And then the hards.
He goes P4, so I think that might have been a bit of a scruffy lap for Jimbo there.
Yeah, doesn't show his usual pace.
Fact, I don't think he used ERS, to be honest.
And him and Vapor.js have been up front for most of the last couple races. Speaking of the last couple races, I want to point out that Vapor.js has accumulated 44 points over the last 2 weeks with his win in Austria, his podium in Britain, and
With pole
Jimbo.
position.
Yeah, that too. And Jimbo, man, it's 8th and 11th. Or yeah, it was his pole position, not his fastest lap. I apologize for messing that up. But yeah, it was 11th and 8th for Jimbo the last couple weeks in the result. But the thing is, for these McLaren boys,
Whoa!
though, they've showed a lot more pace recently, and that is somewhat off.
That was Morgan off. I was just following Vapor across his lap, and then he goes to the top with a fit. Wow!
Yeah.
Wow!
I'm sure he's like that we picked Hungary, and the drivers got the choice to. And the reason why we are here, though, is we did mention last week that it would be Russia next week, but the drivers have voted to change it, voting Russia out, and there's a choice of tracks, and the majority vote was Hungary. So Hungary is the one for this week.
It was either going to be Hungary or
Singapore, yeah. Yep.
But we got Hungary this weekend, and Lando he went P2 just then. So who's starting a lap? Because I think we're gonna ride on board with them. Riles is just coming around the final corner. So obviously Riles he did. Actually, what did he do yesterday?
Not sure, but he qualified second or third, I think, yesterday. I mean,
he did
was farther ahead of me.
third because he was just ahead of me. And but who's starting a lap then? Lizard. Lizard's about to start a lap. Should we ride on board with Lizard for a lap?
We should, but something I want to point out before you do that, though, is, something I noticed in this qualifying session is Lando is second in the timings, and he sits fourth in the point standings, only 11 points behind championship leader Wingo. He's consistently been in that second and third spot this whole season, but has yet to get a win. I'm looking to see if he'll be able to get a win today, and his consistency has been key in order to keep him up from fourth in the championship, which could improve him up to the lead.
And as we say that, he's crashed.
Okay.
But anyway, we're now on board with Lizard then. It's he's coming through to finish off the first sector then. What's his first sector time? A 27.6. Not a great lap, a massive snap there. Somehow he's not using ERS.
Yeah. Or if he was, he'd turn it down. But
he's still on 100%. So
yeah.
He was using it for that lap.
Oh, no.
Who else have we got? We've got Mac Bateman just behind him. So
One thing
Mac's on a push lap.
One thing you notice though at turn 4, and I did the same thing yesterday in tier 3, is that his slide out of or into turn 4 at the start of sector 2. If you have a slide like that, you can actually gain time from doing that. But you stay valid just because you lost the rear end. You got to make sure you stay going in the right direction. And yeah, and I think Mac Bikeman is staying out. No, he's going to the pit lane. Ooh, it was a last minute decision right there. Yeah,
absolutely. Who else have we got? We've got Fatboy on Slim. He's just about to start he's coming up to finish his lap now. So then, Fatboy, where does he go? It's P7 at the moment, but I don't think he was using ERS. So,
or if he was, not a lot.
It might.
Yeah.
It might be a glitch.
I don't know. Because I got the same thing you got too. I mean, I got the same thing you got. I mean, I'm on board with Morgan, and he's been using a little bit of ERS himself. So.
He's on his out lap, so
yeah.
let's go with Morgan then. So he's starting with his lap. Obviously, as we said, Morgan he's usually fighting in the midfield, but this could be his chance to fight with the big boys. Here he comes then to start his lap, really revving out 7th gear then, wanting to make sure he doesn't lose any momentum. Goes down into 2nd, short shift to 3rd. DRS open as soon as possible. They want to take the shortest run up to turn 3 now, or turn 2, sorry. So a lot of these corners, they are long flowing corners. Whoa! A massive snap there for Morgan. He has actually lost time to his best lap.
I just want to mention though, quickly before you continue, we have like a parking lot toward that last sector right now for people trying to start their first lap.
We very much do.
And we have a crash in the pit lane too. That's Lizard right in front of Dylan Boy. He crashed at the start of the pit entrance. I don't think he picked up damage, and if he did, it was very minor. But that's halted Dylan Boy's chance of getting back to the pit lane any quicker than he'd want to.
Morgan's setup is not a stable setup, I'm realising. He's having to fight the car through every corner then. Right, we've got our poleman, or provisional poleman, Vapor.js. He's just about to start his lap. So then, what can Vapor.js do? Can he improve on his lap, crucially? Because it's going to be an interesting one, whether or not he can. But, obviously we know Vapor, he's quick. He is a quick driver. Obviously he's had He had his win in Austria.
44 points in the last 2 races. That's impressive for his championship fight. Back to the front. By the way, I'd recommend you change the. Oh, he somehow keeps it valid. But I was gonna say, I recommend you change the stream name from Tier 4 to Tier 2. It's you changed it to Tier 4.
Did I put Tier 4?
Yeah, you put Tier 4. Sam the Nick has pointed it out in the chat. But while you mentioned that, I want to keep on 4 Vapor.js because this lap could keep him on pole, and he may improve on this. He's just flat out. Look at that. I mean, he's just nailing each corner. 57 thousandths up into the last 3 corners. This guy is just taking it perfect. Look at that. FR77 goes second. Vapor.js enters the final 2 corners. He's got it nailed. He's got it steady. He's got it right to the line. Where is this going to put him? I mean, he's already on pole, but is this going to put him at how much better, though?
It's
almost
about
2 tenths. Almost 2 tenths.
Yeah, almost 2 tenths. We could, if he improves by another 2 and a bit tenths, we could see someone drop into the 14s.
Wingo's got a purple sector 2 right now, it shows, but I don't know what that necessarily symbolizes. He's coming into the pits, though, as I speak about it. So, something I want to mention as well is Cool Kyogre is making a return to GSR. This is his first start since, do you know when, Elizio, or no?
I don't know, to be honest.
It's gonna probably be since a couple of seasons, if I remember correctly, if he didn't make any last season or the season before, because
I don't think he raced last season, so it might be maybe 2-3 seasons he's been out of it.
And I don't think Aaron Ocon's made a start in a while. I know he did the F2, if I'm correct, so
yeah, he did F2 for a bit, but
I think Gerald Lizard, he was in the Tier 3 yesterday, and I think that's about it. GSR Riles was in Tier 3 yesterday, so that's about it from people making their first starts, returns, and reserving from Tier 3.
Well, here comes Alistair then. He's currently sat, I think, 6th in the championship at the moment. Maybe 7th as he comes across the line. It's P8 on a set of medium tyres. Alistair, he's P6 in the championship at the moment, so he's looking to get back up to the front. And we've got Morgan then. He's 4 seconds down. Aaron Ocon. Here he comes then. He's coming around the final couple corners now.
He's up on his lap, so it should probably put him in the top 10.
Here he comes then, round the final corner. He got a bit squirrely, and it's P10. So
yeah, that's about right.
It's a good prediction from yourself there.
I mean, I'm pretty good at judging things sometimes. I mean, it depends, but yeah.
Whoa.
I mean,
Lizard with a massive save out of that final corner there.
I was gonna say yeah, he's just started his lap doing that, but no, with a lot of things I've noticed though. I mean, Vapor.js has got the clear pace. Can he keep that for the race though? Can he keep the race pace? You know, and I also noticed from back to about 10th, even with tire differences, it's still a good 5 tenths between 2nd to 10th. So that's something to note. You know, they're gonna be all trying to chase down Vapor.js, who's had the pace so far this weekend. And yeah, I'm quite curious to see though, you know, how much of that pace is he going to keep for the race? Because as we've seen so far this season, Lando, who sits 3rd, although he sits 4th at the championship and he's had the podiums he's had, he may not have any wins to start off the season, and he did start as a reserve, and he's now full time in that Alpine. Something I did notice, and I do want to point out, is his race pace has been a lot better than his qualifying pace. So if that says something a lot, if that says something a lot about this weekend, then it's definitely going to say for sure that he will definitely improve from where he was in qualifying pace in order compared to Vapor.js. So that's for sure.
Absolutely.
But the thing is, the championship battle is one thing we'll be focusing on the most. It's what, 11 points between the top 4 between 4 different drivers.
It is.
So that to me says a lot when it comes to focusing on this championship battle. And you have people like FR77, Jimbo, and even Dylan Boy, and I'll add Alistair into that combination. They're all trying to make a comeback. And the top 4 is Wingo to JS to Kieran to Lando. And then your constructor standings is still pretty close too, between 4 points from Aston to Ferrari to McLaren. So while we're focusing on drivers making their first starts or drivers, you know, about to do well, we're also focusing on this championship battle. I know it's early in the season, but a track like this, considering what it did yesterday at Tier 3, it could definitely determine any point in this championship battle.
Yeah, and we've got Riles on a lap currently, and he's just at the fastest first sector. So then, Riles, the Tier 3 driver, the man who leads the I think he leads the championship. Yeah, yes he
Yeah,
does.
yeah,
Um,
just barely.
yeah, he is going quick.
His first
But can
sector
he
was
keep
a
that
hundredth
momentum?
quicker. His first sector was a hundredth quicker than JS's. What's this gonna do?
What's his middle sector looking like? He's about
Ooh.
4 tenths up, so at the moment, he needs to find about 5 tenths in this final sector.
Yeah, he lost
To
3 tenths to JS, and the second sector started to cut in. Yeah, so that's the difference right there. First sector for Riles much better than JS. Second sector a lot to improve on there.
yeah, maybe
Out of the front corner though.
Riles is running a bit more straight line speed. He still goes P3 though, and very close to FR77. It was going like 10 mile an hour out up the second final corner.
And let me just mention some as
Meanwhile
well from
there,
Britain last week, which I don't know what the condition of it is this week. I'm pretty sure Riles does have a better knee because he was racing in Silverstone. He got the in Tier 3, and he got the 9 seconds, mainly due to the fact that he had a knee injury and wasn't really like comfortable with where he was positioned, while he was racing. So the thing is, though, I will say that knee injury's probably got a lot better though, considering he's really close to pole, and he's probably got a lot more comfortable now with where he's at.
yeah, and now we've got just Dylan Boy. He's coming around the final corner. Everyone's going to be flooding out the pits now, trying to set their final laps. Just Dylan Boy then.
Ooh!
He comes across the line. He goes P2.
That's the front row.
Finally,
And
somebody gets vaguely close to Vapor JS, who has just started his lap. Lizard is now retired in the pit lane,
if
so
he
he
wants
doesn't
to
think he
fight
can improve.
for this championship, that makes a statement right there. If he wants to come back, this is his race to do so. That makes a
Absolutely.
statement.
We've got Kieran then. Sorry to cut in, but
Okay.
Kieran, he's coming up to the final corner now. Kieran is normally in the Aston Martin, but I think Mac's taken his seat for today. But Kieran then comes across the line. He goes P3.
Oh.
So Kieran continuing his form from last weekend. I think it's not FR77, it's Alistair. He's starting a lap.
Yeah.
Riles
Mercedes
is coming
starts
into
the
the pits. Morgan is invalid, but he's going to go for one final flying lap. And then behind him, FR77. FR77 peels off into the pits. So that's FR77's qualifying done. Then we've got the other
Bingo.
Mercedes of Wingo. Wingo goes P4.
Yeah, not enough for the championship leader though.
And then across the line then, it's going to be a Williams. Is it Kludgy Duck? It is Kludgy Duck. Kludgy Duck, then he goes P4.
Vapor
So
JS
then
made a
everything's
mistake in the
hot up
last
in
sector,
this final,
but he's still up.
bit of qualifying. Fatboy and Slim's going to come across the line to start his lap. I think it's going to be Vapor then. Does Vapor JS? Vapor JS does improve to a 15-0.
Oh.
Holy.
That
Just
mistake
Dylan Boy then.
didn't
That's Dylan's qualifying done. Behind him is, I want to say it's Aaron. Aaron's qualifying is now done. What about Kieran? I think Kieran's qualifying is now done as well.
Only a couple people are on laps. Mac Bikeman, I think he's one on a lap still. Alistair's still to come to the line. Yep.
Oh, he's 7 tenths up, is Alistair. So
yeah, this could be second row. Could be. We'll see.
Where's he go?
Ooh.
It is second row. It's No, it's front row, sorry.
Fastest final sector too. These boys are really trying to do what they can to
Wingo then,
show
that's
Vapor JS
Wingo's
something.
qualifying done. What about Morgan? Morgan's quality's done. Mac then, as you said,
Only
is on
him.
a lap. Here comes Mac round the final corner then.
Gonna
Can
be
the
top
Aston
10.
Martin driver do anything to get into the top 10? He comes across the line. He cannot improve. He does improve, but not by enough. Jimbo comes across the line.
Wow.
Jimbo stays in P14. So that's
Wow.
qualifying over. Unless Kludgy Duck has anything to say. No, he doesn't.
Let me just point out, I spoke about McLaren's qualifying last week. I'm going to speak about it again this week. Very impressive from Vapor JS, but 3 seconds separate him and Jimbo. Jimbo could not find the pace there at the end, and he is sitting 14th right now. I mean, I understand that Vapor JS is somebody who, is going to be in this championship fight, but if he needs somebody to back him up, Jimbo might not be that guy. He just might not be there, because he is 2.8 seconds back at the end of this qualifying session, and McLaren's fight in this Constructors' Championship fight might not be the fight that they were looking for, but impressive qualifying from a lot of people, and it'll be interesting to see how this race plays out, because it will be a lot of track position and a lot of survival, but it's Vapor JS who took the pole.
Yeah, so let's run through our grid then. It is Vapor.js, the Brit. He's on pole position. He did actually send me a video last week or in Austria, after his race win, of him doing a shoey.
Oh.
It wasn't tasty. It was out of an old used football boot. And then Alistair, his fellow Brit, joins him in the second row. Just Dylan Boy, a great showing from the American there, looking to get back in this championship fight. He's on P3. He shares that second row with Kieran. On the third row is Cludgy Duck and Wingo. Wingo finally getting a good qualifying performance in. FR and Riles are on the fourth row. Fifth row is Lando and Morgan. Sixth row is Mac and Aaron. Seventh is Fatboy and Jimbo. Lizard, Kyogre, and there were a couple others, I think. But no, that was it.
Yeah, something else to point out, though, is Aston Martin, championship leaders of the Constructors, 1 point over Ferrari, could only manage 10th and 11th. Ferrari, though, second and 7th. They're 1 point behind. McLaren, 4 points behind in the Constructors. That's pole for them. And down in 15th is Jimbo. 14th, 15th. So
this isn't just a fight either. It ain't just a fight for the the tier. This is a fight for the combined. Only I think
That's
18
true.
points separate Aston Martin and McLaren in the combined constructors. So obviously we've lost a lot of points in tier 3 after yesterday's dreadful performance. But today Aston Martin are going to be hungry, especially Mac. I know Mac, he is hungry when he doesn't get a good race in tier 3. But yeah then, so obviously strategy wise you might see a couple 2-stoppers depending on how well they can save their tyres, but I think some might opt for the 1-stopper, soft to the hard. But obviously, as we know, safety cars, they can just throw everything in the air.
And something I want to point out that you bring up, though, is you bring up the difference between the 1-stop and 2-stop, but are drivers going to consider the importance of track position at a track like Hungary? How hard is it to overtake here? It's very hard. So the thing is that they got to consider is track position going to be key here in their strategy by going soft hards or even medium hards? Or are they going to, that's what I'm wondering, but I was going to say, is this going to be something that they'll maybe think about with, you know, betting off of a safety car to go soft, medium, medium? You know, what will they do? We'll find out. So I want to ask you, Alicia, who are your favorites for this race and drivers you're looking out for here?
I mean, obviously, like, you got to say Vapor. He's up there as one of the ones to win. But I'd also say maybe watch out for Wingo. We obviously know Wingo, not the best in quali, but at the same time, in the race, he's blistering. He's not he wasn't a championship contender last season for a reason, and he almost did win that championship last season.
Yeah.
If you know GSR, that was that unfortunate collision, but you know, new season, new things happen.
Yeah.
And but I think overall it's just got to be Vapor. He's gonna. I think he's gonna absolutely dominate. What about you?
So something I think that is interesting, I know I mention this guy a lot, and people are going to start calling me biased, but I actually have a reason for this guy right now. 9th place, Lando Norris. Like I mentioned, the consistency of the podiums, but just not a win yet. He is 4th in the championship because of this consistency, only 11 points behind Wingo. He starts 9th. This is his worst qualifying, I think, of the season, if I'm correct.
I'm pretty sure it is, yeah.
Might be. So the thing is, even though he's not a great qualifier, he's a good racer. And the thing is, 9th place, it's the worst for him in qualifying. He can only improve from here. And especially with his race pace, he's not going to stay there for long. My other favorite in this is just Dylan Boy, who is starts third, second row of the grid. Slipstream down to turn 1 with Vapor, right in front of him. The thing with him and Vapor, though, is I think if anybody's going to put the fight to him, Dylan Boy might be someone who could do it. And if he wants to make a statement in the championship fight to get back there, this is his race to do so, and he starts very well in order to do so.
Yeah, I do just want to point out everyone inside the top 10 plus Jimbo on softs, and then everyone else is on mediums.
Here we go.
Go to 5 red lights then. 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. Here in Hungary, it is Vapor on pole. It's lights out and away we go, and I think Alistair might have got a very good start there compared to Vapor.js.
Well,
I think he has, but Vapor's got a pretty good start. They're going with 3 wide, the Ferrari and the 2 Alfa Romeos down into turn 1. But I think, yeah, it's all clean pretty much, but I don't know if there's any contact behind. Kieran's gotten through on Alistair then. So then, Kieran up to P2. Wingo's already up to P5, Lando up to P7. FR and Wingo are going side by side. But FR's won that battle. But
both Astons have had lap 1 trouble.
Oh, both Astons have had lap 1 trouble. That's not good. No safety car so far. I think we could see Cludgy Duck making a move on Wingo. Maybe Wingo even making a move on FR.
Well, that's
Doesn't
spun out.
look like it though.
And they're free of damage, at least of what I see. But
Oh,
thing is,
Lizard's gone round. Lizard's been sent into a half spin there at the chicane. So
thing is,
unlucky there for Lizard.
for combined, Aston are second. For constructors, Aston are leading. So this is not something that they need right now in this race. But Vapor JS already out to a 1 second lead almost.
Yeah, he's got a very good start there as Vapor JS, but obviously it all comes down to how well he can save his tyres. So then I think Jimbo and Little Robbo are having a fight. They are, and Jimbo's gotten through on Little Robbo. I still don't really know who Little Robbo is.
Well, he's almost getting overtaken at the final corner by Cole Kyogre. Cole Kyogre's got them moved on there. That is for 13th.
Great.
But this is crucial in the medium runners race because he is now about to be right behind Fat Boy and Aaron Ocon.
Oh, I think Little Robbo... No, that was Morgan.
Morgan who ran in the back of him,
Little
yeah.
Robbo, and Morgan's
He's got
now
damage.
got wing damage.
It's not crucial to his race. I mean, he
it's
spun
bad to
out.
worse for the Aston crew.
Yeah, he spun out with no damage. This time he hit the back of him and he's got damage. So it's not good.
Well, at the moment then our closest battle, Wingo, he's all over the back of FR at the moment. It's just, he's biding his time, waiting for the DRS to come on, because I learnt from the other day that once you get the DRS down that main straight, it's very powerful.
So, positions gained on the first lap. Kieran gained a position, FR77 gained a position, Dylan down 1, Kludgy Duck down 3, Riles down 1, and some other notable things to point out at the back is that Kyogre, Robbo, and Kyogre and Robbo up 3 positions, 2 for Jimbo, Fat Boy, and Aaron Ocon as Little Robbo, the first driver to pick up a penalty in this race.
Still don't know who he is, to be honest, but...
Neither do I, we'll figure that out. Yellow flag.
Yeah. Oh, saying that he's retired. He's spun it. Could that be a safety car?
Yes.
It's a virtual. So, not quite as bad as a safety car, but...
Well...
Sometimes VS... Oh, Rowdy.
He's not in the race, but the thing is, though, is what will this VSC do to Vapor JS's lead? Because this could be a worry for him, depending on the safety car VSC restart he gets, compared to Alistair, who is trying to fight him for this lead.
Oh, I've just realised I've not got telemetry on.
Not a good thing.
Aye. Right. So then, whilst we're under this virtual safety car, not much action, obviously, but
Morgan pitted, I think, and so did Mac.
It's actually helped Morgan a little bit more because it's he's not lost as much time. He's still lost 26 seconds to the next car, but.
Well, I mean, if there's a safety car, he's definitely going to be put back up there, and, you know, I'd assume, with the way we've seen Tier 2 races play out, there might be a safety car at some point, but, and with Hungary, too, it's such a tight track that you're bound to have a safety car at some point, and this VSC should be ending sometime soon, and very quickly, right there.
There we go, it has ended, and Vapor's actually got a very good restart there, or has he?
He's pulled him out of a second.
Kind of.
Pulled him out of a second for DRS, but actually, Alistair got right within DRS, actually, just right at the last second, too, which has allowed him to have double DRS into turn 1. He's going to have the same treatment into turn 2.
Yeah, and I think we could see a move further back, potentially. Lando and Kludgy Duck are getting quite close with each other as they look to press on, obviously. Lando, he's, up 2 positions at the moment? 2 positions, yet, but Kludgy Duck has lost 3 positions, and actually saying that, we've got just Dylan Boy. He's very close to the back of his teammate at the moment.
So,
and,
go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, it's just going to be a tight one between this lot, I reckon, but I don't think anything will happen until the main straight. I know these drivers are smarter than that.
So, I think something that happened at the back of the field, which could have resulted in Little Robbo's DNF, is I saw Lizard had said that he got wiped out twice by Little Robbo. So, I mean, obviously his race is done and over with, Little Robbo, but he had robbed somebody else's race, it looks like.
Yeah, we will investigate who that is afterwards.
Because I don't think you guys know who that is. I have no idea either.
At the moment, I don't.
I've never seen
I've
that
not
game attack.
properly checked Discord because I've been obviously trying to commentate this. So
check if he's in the Discord though, unless he's under a different nickname.
Once I get on Discord fully, I'll have a look. Because Fatboy on Slim all over the back of Fatboy here, as Fatboy is getting held up by Aaron, but obviously something to note of Jimbo as he goes for the move on Fatboy. Jimbo is on those soft tyres compared to Fatboy on Slim's mediums. So he's going
Wingo's got by.
break him into turn one.
For
A very
772.
good move there.
That's for 5th, by the way. The championship leader got by him.
Yeah, good eye there. Sorry, I wasn't focusing on that. And then,
Oh, good.
obviously the man in 4th, he's going to look to make haste and get through. He's not going to try into turn 4, which he doesn't, because he's all saying that. He's very close to the back of him there from that board camera. But, yeah, still nothing happening as of yet. I think for now, everyone's just settled down. Everyone's kind of forming into their nice train at the moment, unless your name is VaporJS, and at which point he has got that 1.1 second lead.
So something I've just took notice of, and I took it upon myself. Oh, here goes Lando.
Lando on FR. Sorry to cut in there, but Lando and the FR going side by side now through the final sector.
Doing a good job.
I think Lando's just backed out of it.
Yeah, because sorry, FR77.
Oh, FR's pitting.
And yeah, that's me. So speaking of Little Robbo, since he's just left the session, something I want to take note of. What we might have moved first. I'll let this play out. We have both the Alfa Romeos. Oh, into turn 1. Oh, 3 wide.
Whoa, the contact.
And that's Dylan Boy who's got damage. Alistair is going to have some too. And I think that's Kieran who's been just caught up in some trouble right there. And that has allowed championship leader Wingo to take 2nd place right there. What a move.
An absolute miracle there. I didn't catch the full extent of it, but all I saw was just Dylan Boy straight into the side of Kieran, as I think Kieran was trying to make a move on Alistair, was he?
Yeah, they both, I looked like someone moved on a braking, one of the Alphas did. Both of them were trying to make a move on, it was Alistair, I believe it was. I think they both had to avoid picking up damage, but they both ended up making contact right there. It was Dylan Boy who's going to make a move on Kieran into turn 1, and it just resulted in contact. They got 3 wide, right as the corner and the hole closed up, and it was just not enough. And I think Kieran does have some damage. He looks like he's struggling. I mean, it might be lime green. I don't really know. I mean, it doesn't look like he's got damage, but he's definitely struggling after that little bit of contact.
I think he might has damage will be just Dylan Boy.
I mean, he might have not picked up. I mean, if he did pick up damage, it's surely light, because I mean, he's not losing the time to Wingo. But the thing is, he did get involved in that contact, and I think Alistair, yeah, he's pitting. Dylan Boy, there you go as well. So yeah, those two definitely have damage. But one thing I wanted to point out, though, we might have moved. I can't point it out now. We have into turn 1. Kieran down the inside of Wingo, battling back after losing that position. Wingo has to be forced onto the curb and has to back out of that one. Yep. So, something I want to point out about Little Robbo, as you guys wanted to mention and you guys wanted to know. I checked and he's in the Discord, but he does not have any rules at all, and he decided to join the lobby. So I have no idea what happened there. That'll have to be investigated of some sort.
We'll get someone on
as
there.
You guys mentioned, but I wanted to mention that so people at least know what the situation is there ahead of time. Erdocon, if you know already, he usually picks up a penalty per race. It took him to lap 7 this time. Once per race.
Hungary, obviously. So, yeah. Hungary's not the easiest track to keep penalties away from you, but obviously turn 4 is probably going to be your biggest hitter.
Yeah, he's the second driver to pick up one, which doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me that someone this early would pick up penalties, and I'm not like pointing Aaron out about that. I'm pointing anybody, because it's you know, if you push a whole lot at the track like this, you're gonna pick up penalties really early. And Kieran makes a late dive into the pit lane, needs a little bit of time from it.
So is Lando as well. So Lando, he's going for the undercut on Wingo.
Kludgy Duck, he's boxed too. I think everybody else in that soft runner stint area has stayed out. It's the top 4 who stayed out. Both McLarens, both Mercedes. And
honestly, if I'd had my bets on someone being in a really good position, I might even say Cool Kyogre at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he started outside the top 10, and he's the highest runner in the mediums, and he didn't have a bad start. He was someone to gain a couple positions, but obviously because of the pit stops, if a safety car were to come out now, he'd be in prime glory right there. He'd be happy with that. So the thing with his race, though, too, is he actually has a little bit of experience here with a couple people at Hungary. He finished second, I think, to a runner-up named Ties in another league race here at Hungary on last game, which it's funny enough that I bring that up because, you know, he actually had to work together with his teammate Ties in order to get a good result like that. And for Kyogre, he's in Hawaiian time, if I'm correct, which is like 6 hours behind. So it's a pretty early race for him, if I'm correct on that. He's racing. I don't know how many hours Hawaii's actually behind. I'd like to actually research that right now. Hawaiian
Well,
time
I
right
think
now. Let's see.
I think it's perfect time as we've got a spinner. I think that might have been Morgan who spun. I don't know if there's wing damage. It doesn't look like it, but
No.
Morgan, after looking to maybe be in the midfield for this
Ooh,
race,
we have
he's
a
more
move.
towards the back.
We have a move. It's Riles and Jimbo at turn 1. Both going wheel to wheel out of turn 1. It's Jimbo with the DRS. He's going to get ahead of Riles right before the braking zone. But can Riles challenge back into turn 3? He's looking his nose in there, but it's Jimbo who's going to stay ahead on the soft tires.
And,
so regarding
these guys fighting has allowed Cool Kyogre to get onto the back of them.
So yeah, as Dylan Boy sets the fast lap.
Regarding yellow flag in sector 1.
No,
Lando!
it's Lando! Oh, in that battle too.
Is there damage? There is no damage.
So something I want to mention about Kyogre, yeah, it's like 9:30 in the morning for him right now. So that's impressive that he was able to wake up for the race and been able to do it today, because I honestly, 9:30 in the morning, I mean, some people would want to have their breakfast first. So props to him for doing that. I will say that.
Caffeine.
Yes. So yeah, I didn't realize how what was it? Hawaiian time is like 5 hours behind Eastern Standard Time. So fair play.
I'm gonna stay with Cool Kyogre here, as he is all over the back of GSR Riles at the moment.
And you mentioned
Riles is staying out. We saw Riles do this strategy yesterday in Tier 3. I think he's attempting the one stop.
Well, you mentioned as well. Sorry to cut in. I was gonna say you mentioned as well. Here we go, Kyogre on Riles. You mentioned though, that battling allowed Kyogre to catch up. It's also allowing Fatboy to catch up. He's just barely outside of DRS now for 5th place.
Absolutely, and well, this is our closest battle on track at the moment, because everyone else hasn't got DRS.
Like I spoke to you about, a lot of these. I spoke to you about this before the race. You know, a lot of these races haven't really played out the way it has been, and it looks like this is one of these races that are playing out to be the way it is. So yeah.
Yeah, and something I'm noticing with Wingo now being in second, he's holding Vapor to a gap now. Vapor's not gaining anything. I say that, and he's just gone above size second. I will hush my mouth.
Yeah, I feel we both are on the same thing, because we spoke about Lando, and you know he's spun out, and he also retired in qualifying.
Morgan picks up a penalty, and now it's Fatboy. I wonder if Riles is suffering from overheating tires.
He might be now. His Vapor pits. Go ahead.
If you don't, yeah, that's a good point.
Go ahead.
Your race leader Vapor, he does come in.
With the overheating?
But, if you don't turn your tire pressures down enough, especially on that front left, you're going to suffer from major overheating.
For Vapor.
As here comes Fatboy then. He's going to the inside. They're going to go whoa. Wow. Okay. That got tight.
Yeah, so Vapor is on a 2-stop, it looks like. He's pitted for the mediums. And he is exiting out of the pits just barely out of Kieran right there for the net lead. But yeah, something I want to point out though is, as you mentioned Riles had planned to do what he did yesterday in the Tier 3 race by going a lot longer on those softs. He's doing the same, and yeah, he might be suffering from overheating, because I know it's a bit different here, you know, with realistic cars and, you know, equal cars. But I recently did a realistic league around this track, and the overheating had started around like lap 3, lap 4 for me. And I know the realistic cars, you know, things handle differently and stuff like that. But I mean, the soft runners have surely got to be overheating at this point. I mean, they're so far into the stint that they're stretching it to possibly go soft mediums. Now, Vapor.js we're gonna suspect on a 2-stop, but I have seen people try the 1-stop here. Did it work?
Yeah,
I don't know.
We have got people
we'll
behind
see if
him.
it does.
3 cars behind him currently, which are on the proposed 1-stop. That being Kieran, Kludgy Duck, and Lando. So those 3 are all on the 1-stop, as they all pitted for the hard tires. As now Riles does come into the pits. So Riles has come in. However, Jimbo and Wingo have both stayed out.
And I suspect them to stay out much longer, because if they're wanting to have a chance to fight for some win, fight for a win, I should say, as Aaron Ocon picks up his 2nd penalty of the race. Something as the both Ferrari swap positions, that's important to their battle to catch up. Dylan Boy sets the fastest lap. Something I was going to mention about those guys on the soft tires, though, let's say a safety car comes out right now. Let's say somebody crashes. The point with that is they've stayed out. They've compromised their strategy to stay out because right where they're at, you got to remember, 19 seconds is that gap usually. 19 seconds. They come out about around 10th, 11th right now. If a safety car comes out, their chance of coming out around 10th and 11th changes to about maybe 7th, 8th, 9th. I mean, somewhere in that area. And Jimbo goes a bit wide right there, and you could see the overheating is certainly coming into play. But these guys are rather extending their strategy to make the one-stop work from soft to hards as Wing goes in, or go soft mediums for a one-stop, which is possible. I've seen people try it, but it's got halted by safety cars with their strategy as both them pit. Or they're simply trying for the two-stop, but making sure that they can make it the rest of the way, and that's not good.
Jimbo! Alistair!
That's a safety car.
And we get the safety car!
That's the safety car I was talking about. If only that happened about 10 seconds earlier, that would have been perfect for them.
I actually think this is screwed over the guys on the mediums. I personally believe this screwed them over. They have to go onto the hards now, or they have to commit to the two-stop and go onto another set of mediums.
Yeah, but see, then again, though, if there's no safety car for the rest of this race and they go medium, they're going to have to go soft to the end. You can't bet on a safety car at that point.
No, and already we're seeing Riles has changed his mind. Riles, he pit for the hards, and now he's back in and he's put the mediums on.
So, Lando, Mac Bikeman, Morgan, and just Dylan Boy, anybody who's had trouble to start this race is back in this fight. And this is what they wanted to see, is 3 drivers in this race have penalties. Jimbo, Aaron, and Morgan. And something I noticed in Tier 3 yesterday is, you know, there's a lot of people with penalties, but with how the field spread is here, between the drivers in their pace, you want to be within those 3 seconds immediately, because you might not be able to do so. And something I'll be interested to see here by the end of the lap is what these top 4, the medium runners, will do.
Well, we'll find out now as Cool Kyogre comes in, Fat Boy comes in. Do Aaron and Lizard. Also, I just wanted to point out somebody else who this safety car will help. Aaron does pit.
Aaron is spun at the pit lane entrance.
Aaron spun in the pit lane. Lizard stays out. Lizard stays out. But somebody who this really does help is Wingo. And I'll tell you why. Because Wingo underfueled his car.
Boy. And
so this will help Wingo in terms of his fuel.
He was
won't
telling
have to worry about fuel now.
He was telling me as well. He gets horrible starts here at the track. He kept the same position where he started after a couple laps. And the same thing as well with him is this. Is Aaron's car not accelerating out of the pit lane for you, or what? Oh, he's got held, I think. Has he?
No, he's just not going.
He's not going, or he's got held. A bit of both. I don't know what's going on here with Aaron. That's not good. That's not good. And now...
Oh, there we go.
Wow.
Oh, hello.
Okay. Nice. So, yeah, obviously we saw how the first, what was it, third of the races played out. Something is Kieran and Dylan. Dylan had asked Kieran didn't see him there at all in the turn 1. And those two are a bit frustrated at each other. So I understand that a little bit from both them, because both them are put in 2 completely different races now. Dylan farther at the back and having to overcome Kieran up toward the front now. So yeah, I mean, with the way this is played out, it's going to be interesting to see the second half of the race. And yeah, I mentioned in Tier 3, you know, with the field spread and with the gap between these drivers. The thing here that I'm interested to see is this. With the way the gap is between these drivers on pace, you know, you see a couple people with penalties. Aaron and Morgan and Jimbo, who served the 5-second, by the way, they're not going to be the only one with penalties by the end of this race. I can guarantee that, just because of the way Hungary is on track limits. You know, you look at places like
someone
turn
who
3, turn 4.
Someone who screwed themselves over, I personally believe, is Mac. Mac chose not to pit. He's on 12-lap old mediums. He's been on those mediums since the start of the race, essentially.
Lizard's currently leading, and I'm assuming right here in this situation he's betting on another safety car.
I think Lizard wants the one-stop, to be honest.
Oh, we'll find out what he wants, because at this point, he could do the one-stop from here. He really could have pitted right there. But kept the lead, and with how the rest of the race plays out, we'll have to find out from here because you have people on completely different strategies, like Vapor.js on the mediums, and he's our net leader right now. Vapor.js is, but you mentioned Kieran's on the hards. So the thing is here that I look at is nobody's on the softs. Nobody's going to go to the softs unless it's at the very end of the race with a late safety car. But this field is spread out between the choice of hard tires and medium tires. So the way this race could play out, this could go in a whole different scenario based off of one split thing. We'll have to find out how it goes though. With
the majority of drivers have chosen the hard tires. I just counted them up. But yeah, majority of drivers have chosen to go for the hard tires, so they don't think the mediums are the best race tires. Granted though, I think most of these guys now start, safety car is in this lap, but most of these guys did start on the mediums.
We'll have to find out.
So it's understandable they decided to choose to go to the hards because they didn't want to do the one stop. Well, so Lizard then, he now backs up the field as we get ready to go racing once again after this safety car. So he continues just to back him up. He's going to wait for the safety car to come into the pit lane. Backs him up, backs him up. They're trying to go racing behind him, but he's still backing him up, still backing him up, still backing up. He takes a wide line there to get the best exit he can. He goes, but he's not had as great an exit as Vapor.js, and we could see a challenge from Vapor.js down into turn 1. Here comes Vapor then. He's close behind. Does Vapor dive up the inside?
Yes,
Vapor does dive up the inside. Lizard leaves him the room, but I think Vapor's pulled it off clean. Vapor has pulled it off clean. Kieran's going to have to follow him through immediately then. But Kieran's been forced to the outside.
And he goes for the
he looks
back,
for the switch back. I think Morgan's gone round.
Now he can. He's around the outside at turn 3. Both of them make contact. That's Kieran forced off the track.
Lizard fighting for his life at the moment as he goes very deep into turn 4 there. That's going to be a warning, I think, as Mac Bikeman now picks up a 3-second penalty.
As I told you, that's not going to be the last of the penalties. I'm sure that won't be the last either right there. As Lizard is on 15-lap mediums, and he's still defending for his life. And all of what this is doing is allowing him to pull out a DR. So we have a crash at the back. That's Mac Bikeman.
Now round.
The second Aston Martin who spun again. Lap 1, they did it. Now on lap 16, they've done it again. Oh, no. Oh,
anyway,
man.
Let's get back to this. Oh, I think FR's now gone round. No, it's Mac again. But FR and Lando were side by side. FR on the hards, whereas Lando was on the mediums. Again, I think these two tried it in the last, on like lap 3 or 4 or something like that. They tried going side by side through the second to last corner, but couldn't pull it off, as Mac just cannot.
That's the third
keep
time.
The car in the right direction.
Yeah.
And I think Aaron's trying to get past Fatboy and Slim, but he's not made any success yet. Lando's up the inside on FR. They're now going to go side by side. Oh, this is... Oh, yeah. Here comes Lando then round the outside. They've both spun!
Oh, in Lando's race, that's the second time he's got into some trouble. And left for 7-7 as well. That's his second Ferrari who's gotten into trouble today. Oh my God!
Aaron then, he's he's crawling all over the back of Fatboy and Slim here.
Well, something I want to focus on, Alizio, is this battle for second, because I know Lizard is caught right back just a little bit, but 2 seconds that gap now between Kieran and Vapor.js, and he's just getting more desperate every single lap, and he's just not able to with the dirty air to catch back up, having to use a lot of his overtake just to gain and just to stay with Lizard.
I think as well though, Vapor hasn't really gained a lot of time when you think about. Whoa! Lizard with a big snap there, so that's going to gain him some time. And I think we could see a move from Kieran now. Look at how much he's closed up there. I think we might see him move down into turn 1. Lizard then, he's not using ERS. Kieran neither. I think Kieran's now going to dive out the inside. He doesn't. He darts to the outside. He looks to carry a tighter line on the way out. He taps the back of Lizard, and that sends him into a half spin. But he's caught it. Lizard then, he moves to the inside to defend. There's almost contact, and Kieran's now got the move done as he gets to on Lizard.
That's halted his teammate
Lizard
as
now,
well.
I'd be letting my teammate through.
Yeah, that's halted
letting Cool Kyogre go through.
That's halted his teammate because his teammate was right in the back from him and easily could have gone by, but his teammate had to take evasive action, and there he goes.
And he does let his teammate through.
And he's let more through, too.
But in doing so, he's also allowed Kludgy Duck and Wingo through, but not Fatboy. So, yes, he's helped his teammate gain, but has he also cost his teammate maybe? And Wingo then, just to point out, Wingo's on the fresh mediums.
Yeah, so like I
So
said,
Wingo should be rapid at this point.
he should, but the thing is, like I said at the start of this race, the thing that's going to be most important is, do you want to pick track position or will you have the pace to do so? Hard to overtake around Hungary. We'll find out what the rest of this race does, because right now that gap between the lead started out as like 1.1 to 1.4 to now 2 seconds to now 2.4.
Oh, I think Aaron might have some slight damage as he's all over the shop at the moment. As Fatboy then, he's now going to be the next one to make the move on Lizard, as Lizard is going to start tumbling down the order due to how old his mediums are. As Lando sets the fastest lap of the race, Lando's still not out of this yet as we look at how close everyone is in this battle. I mean, there's a train from 6th all the way down to, what, 13th?
That's crazy.
It's a massive train at the moment. There's Aaron then, he's the closest one to making a move, trying to get past Fatboy and Slim, not able to do anything. But Cool Kyogre, he's reeling in Kieran, and then as soon as he gets past Kieran, he might look to chase down Vapor.js.
So 3.1 now. 3.1 between Vapor.js and Kieran. If this rest of the race plays out the way I think it will, Vapor.js's mediums will die off, but will he have the pace to continue and the track position if he's not going to make another pit stop in this race?
I don't know, but I'm just watching this battle between Aaron and Fatboy. It looks like Aaron might be running slightly more front wing than Fatboy. Oh, he's off in the background. It's just Dylan Boy. Whoa.
That's going to bring out a safety car and Vapor.js's chances to pit. He's past the pit lane. But everybody else is not.
Pits. Kludgy Duck doesn't pit. Neither does Riot or Wingo, but Wingo almost at the back of Kludgy there.
With the way the safety cars came out, Vapor.js is going to be caught out behind the safety car. If he wants to pit, it's going to have to be this lap, and he won't keep the lead if he's going to do so. This has really changed this race completely at the halfway mark.
Everyone's choosing the mediums now. Morgan decided not to pit, so Morgan stuck it out on his hards. I guess Liz has got no choice, to be honest.
I guess so. A bit of a bold prediction.
It's going to be, what, 2 laps under this safety car? That'll be lap 22. He'll have 13 laps on his softs.
Yeah.
It's risky, but with the lower fuel, he might be able to pull it off.
He could. I mean, F1 Boy did
He's going to have to do some insane tire saving, though.
And I think K. Larson did as well, but is it going to be something that you can manage based off of getting another VSC or safety car? It's just a matter of how the place plays out. I mean, these guys are predicting, you know, that the mediums will go the rest of the way, and maybe that they'll be able to gain the track position that they need, because Kieran, the first guy who pit, is as far back as 9th. Is that enough to
be honest? If there ain't another safety car this race, Wingo's in a very good position.
Yeah, surely. I mean, but you got to think about the difference, the tire difference between him and Vapor.js, though, here.
It's only 2 laps, but, like...
Could that make a difference?
Come the final few laps of this race, I think it could. But, you know, there's still 15 laps left, so when it comes to the end, Vapor will be on what? 23 lap old tyres, and Wingo will be on 21 lap old tyres.
Yeah, I mean, if Vapor
saying
pits
that,
here,
Wingo pits.
Yeah, I mean, Wingo pits, but I mean, the thing is, you got to consider Vapor's choice here. If he pits, he loses the lead, and he's as far down as 13th. So he had to stay out for the track position. But Wingo, he's pitting, and he's going to assume that he can make it the rest of the race with the mediums, and that he can gain the positions back that he's losing here, because he goes from, what was it, 3rd down to 13th.
Yeah, only person behind him will be Mac Bikesman, and he is on 2 lap old hards. So at the moment, then, it's all up in the air.
This is crazy. I can't believe what I have just seen with the way the race has played out.
Race director, what's Vapor on? Vapor's clean. Vapor is clean. Let's have a look at... Where's Wingo? Wingo, on the other hand, Wingo has 1 warning from lap 2, if we go to the incidents. Lap 2, and that is for track limits as well.
Oh boy.
So, not looking good there. Who's the other ones we want to look out for? Kieran. Kieran has 1 warning from lap 18, if we scroll through and find that. Kieran on lap 18. That is also for track limits. So those two need to be careful. And who else would we say? Cool Kyogre.
Safety car should be in
He's
this lap, by the
clean.
way, but we have a spin under safety car, and that's Wingo.
Wingo spun. Oh dear,
So
Wingo.
he's down to 14th now, and bad to worse from. I don't agree with pitting right there. I really don't. I mean, yeah, maybe you can get to the end now, but the thing is, I'd rather be on more mediums though and have the lead the way he did, and the safety car is coming in.
But luckily for Wingo, he has been able to catch up. So then, I'll let you take us away for this restart.
Yeah, so Wingo down in 14th. The reason he pitted though was to assume he can make it to the end. Someone else who has not pitted though is Vapor JS, who's got this lead and is on a little bit more worn tires than he had. When does he go? He's gassed it up just a little bit, slowing down, braking, going. He doesn't know what he wants to do just yet, but he enters the final corner. His safety car's coming into the pit lane. He's on the gas fully now. He's got the lead. 4/10 is that gap, and we have some drivers darting out and trying to make moves. Aaron Ocon trying on the teammate of Clutchy duck into turn 1. He's forcing Clutchy maybe the long way around. And now into turn 1. It's the two Williams versus the two McLarens, and Vapor Jazz is lost right there from the lead, but still keeps onto it. FR77 is also in 5th next to Riles. Riles still trying for a position there and closer to the back. Lando trying to gain on the Aston Martin, going wheel to wheel here with Mac Bikeman, both wheel to wheel at turn 3. Mac Bikeman's got ahead.
Fair move there from Mac, and but Wingo's been caught out there as Fat Boy came in.
The other Aston's being battled with Lizard. And yeah, he might have.
Kieran then, he's trying to get through all this traffic as Riles gets a horrendous exit out of the chicane there. And could we see Kieran make a move into the infamous turn 12? It depends how close he can stick. But already then, Vapor JS with that 1 second lead near enough. As Clutchy Duck, he's on older hard, so realistically they're not gonna.
Oh, Kieran on through Riles.
Be quicker. Yeah,
Kieran's
well done there from Kieran to get through on GSR Riles. So he now hunts down FR77 in the Ferrari.
Out of anybody,
Lizard in the background there, he's going side by side with Morgan through the final corner, and Lizard's made the move round the outside for P9. Looking like a very decent move there from JRL Lizard.
So, sorry to cut in again. I was going to say, as we have Cool Kyogre down the inside of Riles at turn 1. This is for 7th. Another guy on the fresher tires. He's got the move done, and in this track position is really playing a key for some people, but other people not so much. These moves got to be made quickly.
I think Kieran got run into the back of there by Cool Kyogre. As I think Mac has dropped a few positions as he's been overtaken by Wingo and Lando.
For 7-7 off track. P10. And Kieran is making a move again, possibly. He's looking to look up one here to the chicane. Can't make the move right there, but he's trying to make up for 7-7, outbrake himself, so he can get by. But something important is Wingo gets by Morgan and Mac Bikeman right there. But something I was going to point out is, exclude Fat Boy, but the leader, Vapor JS, 11 laps on those mediums. Is it possible to make the mediums to the end? We'll find out. And here we have a move. Kieran down the inside of FR77. There's contact.
Whoa. He's made the move. No, he hasn't. His FR77 is back up the inside. They're going side by side. He's in the pit lane entry there, but he's made the move. So fair play to Kieran as he's still now. Fast slaps. He's what? Let's check gap to leader. He is 4 seconds behind Vapor at the moment on 9 lap fresher tires.
Making a move.
He could. Oh, but there goes FR. That is a horrendous dive bomb from FR.
He has pushed him off, but there goes Kieran kind of overtaking the track.
More or less.
In the inside again. Both the asses are off at the back.
This is poor from FR in my opinion. He's sending stupid dive bombs.
Well, he's got himself to stay ahead right there, and arguably should be ahead with that, because even though he dive bombed, I think Kieran did go off track, even with being forced off, and it did overtake, and FR77's got it back. You know, if I'm Kieran right now, I'm surely frustrated because this gap to the lead is now 5 seconds. And why I mentioned this is important is because, yeah, they're on the newer tires, but this could be the battle for the race win.
Oh!
Riles and Lizard!
Riles and Lizard!
Oh, boy. Well, why I mentioned that's important because, yep, still more trouble. Morgan Cheeseman's got a penalty from that. But why I mentioned it's important is because although Kieran's got a penalty too with that, but as Vapor JS has this lead and he's still setting fast laps, those mediums I'm gonna expect die off at the end. But will his pace die off with it too? That's what will make the difference. We'll see. Here we go again.
Laps remaining then as Kieran, he is well frustrated, he's now making the move on FR77. FR77 giving him the squeeze there, down into turn 1. I think Kieran's finally managed to hold him off though. He gets the move done, down into turn 1, and now he can set his sights firmly on Jimbo then. But I did just catch the tail end of that Lizard Riles contact.
Yeah.
And it looked like they were going side by side into the S's section. That's never really going to work when you think about it, but...
I hope Kyogre
Yeah,
kind of gives
it's,
FR77 the same treatment he gave Kieran and frustrates him because, you know what? Kyogre's also on the newer tires and he kind of needs to get... don't get me wrong, I like the move he was pulling right there, but it was just a little bit aggressive in this fight. I don't blame him for it, but is it going to be something the stewards look at, you know? I think Kyogre should give him that same treatment to where he fights him really aggressively. Maybe not like that, but, you know, definitely really aggressively, see how he likes it. And he's got a chance to do so right here. Look, he's much closer into turn 12, down the inside for Cool Kyogre.
He does send the move, but I don't think he'll be able to fully pull it off. There's contact. Somebody's lost their front wing. I think it's Lando.
Is that
Lando has
wing?
lost his front wing. But he stays... Oh, no, he doesn't.
Oh. That's his third time Lando has had some trouble in this race, and it's at the very end, and his chance at another consecutive podium is gone. And here comes Kyogre down the inside.
And then he sent it.
Kyogre down the inside of Kieran, Jimbo down the inside of Kludgy Duck, and we have 3 wide almost.
Yep, so Kieran getting through on Aaron then, as does Jimbo, and then Cool Kyogre getting through on FR77. Wingo then. Wingo got held up behind Lando, so he's lost time, and Wingo's not been able to make anything happen so far.
No.
But Aaron Ocon then, with that 6 seconds, that's going to send him down the order quite a bit.
FR77 is lucky to stay in this race after what just happened at turn 4. You may have missed the end of that. Lost the rear on the curb, and he somehow was able to keep it straight, but he is fighting a really loose race car.
Right. So, obviously, I think a lot of drivers are running quite oversteery setups today because they are kind of the standard at Hungary. I have managed to find a setup. I did manage to find a setup at least that was stable, so that would have worked out for me if my controller didn't die, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned the pace drop off from Vapor.js. He's not had much of a pace drop off he actually gained from these guys, and you know, Jimbo had that struggle of a qualifying. He right now is on podium, but Kieran is trying to fight this back even with the penalty. Here he goes down the inside before turn 1.
And he's got the move so he can take the racing line. But obviously, what's really going to hamper Kieran here is that 3 seconds.
It will for
He's
sure.
now got Wingo. He's looking to get past. Sorry, I meant Cool Kyogre, not Wingo. He's gotten past Aaron Ocon. And then Wingo, further back, is trying to find a way through on FR77, but he just can't find his way.
No, Kludgy Duck now,
and Jimbo.
Oh my god. So, Cool Kyogre, his chance for a podium is still going to be in reach here, even without being on the podium on track. He is... Oh, someone's hit the... I see that.
Board.
Might have been Jimbo. I think he's lost a bit of time there. Or Kieran, one of the two. Might have been Jimbo, I would assume. But yeah, this is important.
Now picks up
This, look, even though they might not be within 3 seconds right now, this is still important for FR77 and Wingo, as well as Kyogre, the closest to these guys right now. 3rd place is on the table right now for Kyogre, but it's not out of question for 2nd. And it's only allowing Vapor.js again to pull away, even if something happens. I mean, his tires are going to fall off the cliff.
He's going to have to be patient here
puncture territory
because, unfortunately, he wasn't close enough to pick
but
up the
someone who is
DRS
close
down
enough.
this
Hold on,
main
Wingo.
straight.
Wingo is on FR77. You said he wasn't making anything going on here. Here he goes down the inside at turn 1, still going wheel to wheel. And now, as we head to turn 1, both of them side by side, but it's Wingo getting the upper edge, and he is going to be ahead there, but FR77's fighting back into turn 2 once again.
FR77's going to send one of his dive bombs. He does, but Wingo leaves him the room. But I think Wingo, with the inside line for the next corner, should have the move done. He does get it done.
He's trying to fight up to turn 4,
Oh, but here
though.
comes FR77. He can't try it at turn 4. You've got to be a madman.
Yeah, but the one thing I think he was trying to do with Wingo is force him to a mistake, and somebody who's having a lot of mistakes right now is Aaron Ocon, struggling on these hards, and he is holding up Wingo right here in this position to possibly get Wingo a podium here, because right now with these penalties, 6 seconds for Aaron. If Wingo gets by Aaron here and starts to gain in order to get to this podium, he could be on for a podium based off of penalties. Not on track, though. I don't think it'll be capable, but yeah. And as we spoke right there, Lando Norris set that fastest lap, and so did Jerry Lizard the lap ago, but that's the battle for fastest lap right now.
Yeah, it is. Lando with fast lap currently with a 17.0.
Kieran's closer to
Here we go then. Here comes Kieran. He's got the DRS. I don't think he'll make anything at turn 1, but into turn 2 we might see a move from the Alfa Romeo, who should be an Aston Martin driver, but
Wingo and Aaron, he's got by. And something that is important with
Wingo
this track
then,
is double
Wingo.
DRS. Look at this for second place.
Here comes FR.
Second place was close, so I apologize for about that, because Kieran ran in a clutchy duck right there, got into his rear wheel, lucky enough, didn't spin him. He is still trying to fight this too. I mean, they're trying to pull away because they know Kyogre is just outside of that gap that he needs to be in. I mean, he's in it now, but I mean, he was just outside of it with where Clutchy Duck wants him to be. He's got that podium right now, Kyogre.
Change further back as Fatboy and Slim comes into the pit lane, as FR now picks up a penalty.
Yeah, told you it's not going to be the last of the penalties. Gotta keep continuing.
Somebody who hasn't picked up a penalty though and is on track to win this race is Vapor JS. He's gonna start the final. He's gonna finish this lap, and that will leave us with 6 racing laps left, obviously including the lap he's about to start.
Kieran is still close to Clutchy Duck to this podium, and I mean, I think the thing is here is they got to try something to pull away. These guys battling is still focusing Kyogre into this battle, and it's halting their chance to keep the podium based off penalties. Here goes Kieran once again, cannot make the movement of turn 1. Kyogre has caught DRS to Jimbo, but is not within it this time. He should be next time if he keeps the gap.
Here down into turn 2. Here he goes to the inside.
Oh,
he tags him. Ooh, no. Kieran's in the wall.
Unbelievable.
No wing damage, luckily for Kieran, by the looks of it, but that was very tight there.
Yeah, he's going to let these guys go.
Oh, Kieran's just pulled straight off to the side.
I think he does have damage, though. Lime green it could be. I mean, he's struggling into turn 4 right there. He's letting these guys go.
Yeah, he's letting everyone through.
I understand his frustration right there, but what this has now allowed, though, is Wingo in clean air while Kyogre is trying to catch Jimbo. And the gap between Wingo and Clutchy Duck and Jimbo, by the way. Wingo just barely off of Jimbo for this podium, but is not far off of Clutchy Duck either. For
absolutely
penalties.
At the moment then, Cool Kyogre, he should be able to make a move if he can into turn 1, which will he doesn't have to play it risky at the moment though.
I mean,
That's
he's got double DRS.
Cool Kyogre's gonna be thinking about.
If he's not close enough,
play it risky.
If he's not close enough by turn 1, he's got double DRS into turn 2, because that zone into the final corner is an entry for double DRS right here at this track. And Kieran, yeah, he does enter the pit lane. Is this going to be retirement, or is this going to be him trying to go for a fastest lap? As of now, it looks like a fastest lap.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fastest lap, but Cool Kyogre then, he knows he doesn't have to go for an overtake. He can just sit behind, conserve his ERS, which, I mean, to be honest, he's not doing all that well, but...
Look, I mean, the battle with Kyogre and Jimbo is halting Jimbo's chance for a podium. You know, the gap between Wingo and Jimbo, which is all Wingo needs to do here, is gonna be...
it's on 3 seconds, basically.
3 seconds,
it's
yeah.
Like 3.1.
So that would be for 4th, right there. But Kyogre, for a podium, would be 2nd. So I'm trying to add up that here. It'd be Vapor, Kyogre, and Clutchy, the net podium right now. But again, like I said, this battle is still halting their chances at keeping Clutchy Duck on the podium, because they are catching slightly, but they're also losing a little bit compared to Wingo.
Cool Kyogre might be able to make the move now.
Closer.
Here he comes then.
Closer.
Down the main straight. We ride on board with the AlphaTauri driver. We look back as we see the McLaren driver just to the right of the screen, and he gets the move done. Jimbo tries to find the switchback, but can't make anything happen. And Cool Kyogre is now through for the legit podium, as he will get promoted into P2, and he might even try it on Clutchy Duck. But after seeing what happened between Clutchy Duck and Kieran, I think he might be a bit scared.
Mac Bikeman, 3-second tap penalty for him. Again, not the last of the penalties, but Jimbo is really starting to struggle in this race. Clipped the curb and lost a lot of time from it at turn 4. That's not a curb you want to clip on the outside. Kyogre using a lot of the track limit skills here. He can't afford a penalty if he wants to keep a potential chance at the podium, because if he does pick up a penalty, win goes right there.
Poor Kyogre. Then we look at how many warnings he's got. He's got one warning, and that was on lap 28.
Lando Norris, another penalty as well right there. It's like I'm
His
like the
day
penalty
just
man.
went from bad to worse.
Wow, I do feel bad for him, and I also feel bad for a couple other people in this field, especially people in this championship fight like Kieran. But if the race results stand the way it will, it's going to be Vapor JS taking the points lead. 44 points the last couple races. Today, with that pole and with the win, it would be 70 points for Vapor JS in the last
mad.
3 races.
Man's just
He had a horrible start to
just on a
season
different
2.
level at the moment.
He had a horrible start to the season 2, so this is definitely crucial for him. My goodness. I mean, what a
Yeah.
difference 3 races can make. 70 points if he continues this right now. I know I've cursed a lot of people through the start of this race, but he is... I don't want to curse him, but he's literally been unstoppable today. 21 laps in these mediums, and he is just still continuing to impress the GSR Tier 2 field. He's the guy to beat, as Kieran sets the fastest lap.
Kieran could be making a move on JRL Lizard very soon, as there is actually a 3-car battle, would you believe, for this P2 position. It will be P4 eventually for either Kludgy Duck or Jimbo, but yeah, it's gonna come down to the wire, I think, and I think it might go the way of Kludgy Duck, that P4, might even be P3 if we look at gap to leader. That will give us a great incentive, as Kludgy Duck is 5 seconds behind and Wingo is 4 seconds behind him. So Wingo's got to get a move on if he wants to get that P3 on the podium and not just P4. So then, here we go then. Here comes Cool Kyogre. He's using all of his ERS down that main straight. Neither him or Kludgy Duck have much ERS to play with, but can he get him on the second time of asking? If not, it will be a last lap overtake, but that might be a bit of a stretch because he might just sit behind. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, Wingo. Oh, we have yellow flag.
Oh, we've got a yellow
Where's
flag,
that?
sector 3. I believe Lizard's gone round.
So, Riles for Mercedes, let me point this out, why this is important. 7 seconds here, right? If any of these guys continue to keep getting penalties, Max Bikeman is
now out.
out.
Max crash.
So, no chance for a
We
safety
won't
car.
see a safety car
No, we
or
won't.
a GSC
But the
from
thing
this
is,
point.
though, Riles is not too far off of points here, and if these guys continue to pick up penalties, and if there's any post-race penalties, he'll get himself some more points for Mercedes in this constructors fight. Kyogre running a bit wide there at turn 11, and lucky enough not to pick up a penalty.
Now this is turn 13. They come through the penultimate corner as Vapor JS then. He is running the final corner to start the last lap.
So the
it's
only
been,
thing that can...
It's been an eventful race, and the eventfulness is not over yet as Cool Kyogre then. Here he comes. Can he find a way past Kludgy Duck, or will he play it safe because of penalties? He's very close here. Could he have a look?
Oh, let it go! Oh no! And here goes Jimbo through!
Then. Oh
Jimbo
dear! And this is now Wingo up into... Wingo's gone up the inside! Kludgy Duck's left, no, Wingo's round!
Unbelievable, just like the Tier 2 spin he had last season at Brazil. He's spun again. In the same type of circumstances where a podium could have been on. And this is still going to be interesting because this could still be a double McLaren podium, and I feel so bad for Wingo right there. Jimbo.
I feel bad for Wingo. That's some
Jimbo.
from Kludgy Duck.
Jimbo holding second place right now on track, but the only thing that can stop Vapor JS is a last lap puncture. He's been fine from that. 23 laps in the mediums. You take it away, Eliseo. He's done a great job today.
Here comes Vapor JS then. He's coming around the final couple corners now. He has got lap traffic in front of him of Lizard, but I don't think he's going to get out of the way. Here comes Vapor JS then, round the final corner. It is the McLaren driver who wins here in Hungary, and he is won by an absolute margin. It's going to be Jimbo, his teammate, who crosses the line in P2, but due to penalties, Cool Kyogre comes home in P2, and Jimbo in P3. Kludgy Duck, he finishes P4. FR77, he's in P5. P6 will be Wingo, no, P5 will be Wingo after that controversial incident with Kludgy Duck there. And then FR will be P6. Aaron Ocon in P7. Morgan Cheeseman in P8. Oh no, sorry. Lando in P8, Morgan in P9, and Kieran. He's managed to pull it off. He's gotten a point. He's not happy. I can tell from that. But
Let
Kieran
me also
then comes
point
home
out,
in P10.
though, McLaren, after what we saw in qualifying, 3-second gap between the teammates, they will now lead the Constructors' Championship. And just what I mentioned with Jimbo, you know, he needs to back up Vapor JS right there. What I said right there came out to be true. He was able to back up Vapor JS, and he's going to be someone to fight in this Constructors battle. Last card across the line will be Lizard, on for a fastest lap.
Yeah, let's get these three drivers in then for interviews. Vapor JS.
See if he goes for fastest lap. Will he get fastest lap right here? I think Vapor JS might have had it, or somebody else. It was Kieran. It's still got to be Kieran who has the fastest lap.
Right, so it wasn't Wingo. It was. Let me find him. Kludgy Dart. No, wait, who was it?
Vapor. It was on the podium. Vapor, Kyogre, and Jimbo.
Cool Kyogre. Cool Kyogre.
I think something we need to ask Vapor, though, when we get to his interview, is the 70 points he's accumulated in the last 3 races. First, second, first. That's impressive, and that has to be noted, surely, for a comeback, considering his poor start to the season.
Absolutely, and as we wait for Cool Kyogre to join for the interviews, we will just run through the race results once my game decides to load. Here we are then, it is Vapor JS after a grueling 50 minutes, 1 second, and 6 thousandths, or 6 tenths, sorry. It is Vapor JS who takes the win from pole position. Cool Kyogre comes home in P2, Jimbo in P3, Kludgy Duck P4, Wingo in P5, FR77, he is P6, Aronocon in P7, Lando, Morgan, and Kieran round out your top 10, and then it is Riles, Fat Boy, Lizard. They are the 3 last finishers. Mac, Just Dylan Boy, Alistair, and Lil Robbo. None of them finished, unfortunately. Although because Mac crashed so late, he is classified. So then, I don't know if Cool Kyogre will be joining us for interviews.
Try and get in.
2 McLaren drivers currently. Here he is then. Here is Cool Kyogre for the interviews. And yeah, so let's get these interviews rocking, rolling then. Let's start off with our P3 man, Jimbo. It took a while for this season, lad, but you finally made it up onto that podium.
It's been a very horrible season. I think it's my worst starting season in GSR so far. A DNF, then loads of terrible races, some mistakes on my side, some things that haven't gone my way. And as soon as I found out that it was going to be Hungary replacing Russia, I was like, oh no, this is my worst track. So someone suggested a setup, and it worked it worked really well. Kept my tyres temperatures low in the zone, so kept it clean and somehow managed a podium at one of my worst tracks.
Wow, it was
and
definitely
from
was
basically
an
the back of the grid.
Race. Well, this is a good point, you see, because you did have a pretty poor qualifying, and obviously, was it just keeping out of trouble? You know, obviously you did get the penalty, but was it just keeping out of harm's way?
That and just under driving, because throughout the last couple of races, this season I took a different approach of trying to be a bit more aggressive, and obviously that hasn't played in my favour. And today I decided, you know what, I'm going to just keep it cool, not try and overdrive every corner, and it worked. So I think I know what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the season.
Well, fair enough, lad. Obviously, there was that controversial incident on the last lap. I don't know. Obviously, you saw.
Is that with the little bit of contact between?
Yeah, where
Krieger
Kludgy Duck span, and at turn 1, and then obviously he turned in on Wingo. What did you make anything of it?
Turn in on Wingo. I didn't.
From our point of view, it looked like Wingo had gone up the inside, and there was just contact.
I mean, by the time I'd passed, I was just focusing on straight ahead. I didn't realise. I did wonder where Wingo went, because he was 1.5 seconds behind me, and then he was nowhere. So if that's what it is, then I don't know what happened, so I can't comment on that.
Alright, fair enough. Well, Ryan, have you got any questions for our P3 man in the McLaren?
Yeah, I've got to ask there. You I mean, I don't. I know. The difference between qualifying and race was completely different for you, but you qualify 2.8 behind your teammate, and you come up to finish third. What was the difference between qualifying and the race there that you thought, like, hey, what made the difference
Uh,
in the pace,
to
at
be honest,
least?
my strategy was that I wanted to be outside the top 10, so I was already 2.3 seconds up on that final lap. But I thought I started behind on the mediums, and then for some weird reason, I decided to change my mind and start on the softs. So I was like, at the end, I've just realized at the end of the race, I was like, if I started on those softs, I could have been like definitely P2 with the gap that I could have had. But it is what it is. I made a judgment call of just backing out, but it is what it is.
Well, fair enough then, lad, and congratulations on that amazing drive. We will move on to our P2 man, Cool Kyogre. Obviously, I will just say beforehand, because I forgot to say it, if you haven't already, include your audio. Jimbo, I know you stream, so I'm assuming you've included your audio anyway.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, don't worry, I have.
But yeah, Cool Kyogre, it was a very good drive from you there after coming from what was, I believe, last on the grid to a podium into P2. What was your perspective on that race?
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I'm just really happy. It's my first GSR race in I think like over 10 months, and with me on controller, I wasn't expecting much from this race, but to get a podium and to have really good pace compared to the front runners, I'm very happy. And then on that last lap incident, which I know you're probably going to comment on, Blucky Duck, I think his name is. He spun it on the curb.
I think it is.
He spun it on the curb, and I just couldn't avoid him.
Well, was there wing damage that ensued from that contact, or
Surprisingly not.
just... Well, fair enough then. Obviously, as we said, what you did qualify last. What didn't go right for you in quali then? What do you think didn't go right? Did you just not hook up a lap, or was it just was that the plan to start from the back end?
I think it was really the plan to start from the back, because I knew turn 1 in Hungary was going to be a mess. And also I had to take a shower and do stuff, so I just decided I may as well just qualify last and see how I can do in the end.
Well, fair enough, lad. You might need to take another one after all that sweat. Ryan, have you got any questions for Cool Kyogre?
Yeah, you and Jimbo both had to fight to the front, with starting pretty far back. I guess my question with that is, with Hungary being a track position and survival, did you expect any of that at all?
I don't really know. I mean, I knew I could get by the slower drivers, that's for sure, but I wasn't really expecting to be this far up, that's for sure.
Well, fair enough then. Let's move on then. Congratulations, by the way, yeah. Let's move on then to our P1 man. It is VaporJS. 3 weekends, 3 podiums, 2 wins. 70 points overall that's been, including your pole positions and fastest laps. So a pretty decent weekend for you. You've also got pole and then just absolutely dominated the race from start to finish.
Where to start? It was a bit of a blur, to be honest, most of the race. I mean, the quali, I made a mistake on my final lap, so I felt there was more time in that lap, but I still managed to pull it out at the end with a 15.0, I think it was, or it might have been a high 14, I'm not sure.
It was a 15.0.
Okay, so obviously I'm really happy with that. That was a good lap from me. And then on the race, I just got a good start. I covered off any dive bombs into turn 1, and from there I just had to keep it cool, and just drove away, managing my tyres, make sure I could get to the make sure I could get off the softs comfortably and onto the mediums, and in the safety car period, is my favourite track position, and it worked out for me. So I didn't really make any gambles today, and I was very confident with my pace. So yeah, I'm very happy about the result that I got today.
Yeah, obviously you did allude to you deciding not to pit under that final safety car. Was when you saw Wingo pit, did you worry, or I don't know if you saw Wingo pit, but
Yeah, I did.
did you worry a little bit, like maybe he could get through the traffic and catch you and maybe displace you for the lead, or was it always just like, I've got this, I know I can defend from him?
Sort of. I was a bit twitchy about it. I was like, do I pit? Because I get the fresh mediums, but then I decided that they're only 20%, and with the pace I had at the time, I thought I could maybe keep them out if they did catch up because of the gap they'd had to pull. And luckily I was correct in the end, and that's probably what got me and Jimbo the podium, was us staying out on those safety cars. And when we did get the chance to pit, we pulled it off pretty decently. But yeah, I'm very happy to see Kyogre back as well. Hopefully we can have some more battles like we did in Tier 3 in a couple of seasons ago. So yeah, very happy about this weekend, and hopefully I can carry this momentum forward into a championship fight with Wingo.
Well, congratulations, and Ryan, any questions for the man that won the race and absolutely dominated?
I've had a question for everybody, so I may as well ask another one. So, VaporJS, I've got to ask you this. So, you now lead the championship with that, and this is important to mention because 70 of your 82 points have came in the last 3 races of the 6 races done so far. I mean, you had a poor start to the season. The comeback has been incredible. Where does this come from? That's where I wonder. And what are they gonna have to do in order to stop you from winning? That's what I wonder.
Well, the comeback has mainly been me getting more confident with no line. That's mainly where it's came from. I mean, today I finally felt confident that I could. Since probably Tier 4, this is a time I felt confident that I could go for a championship and dominate races. But the thing is, as I progress with my pace, my mindset is changing with no line, because obviously now I'm on no line, I've got to take less risks. So I've just been more consistent, I feel, when I switched to no line. And the shaky start to the season was, I feel like, just me trying to progress. And I had pace at Bahrain, mainly Bahrain. I thought I had a lot more pace than I showed, and I thought I could have maybe got a podium there, but it sort of fell away. And those last couple of races, I think Portimao, I don't know if Lisa remembers it, but I was leading and I made a stupid mistake and just binned it. So yeah, it's just been a progression over time these past 6 weeks. Just trying to get better and more used to no line, and yeah, it's working pretty well at the moment.
Well, congrats on that win.
Thank you.
That's congratulations to all 3 drivers, and it's been a pretty eventful race. Congratulations to everyone that scored points. Commiserations to everybody that did DNF or did not score points. And anyway, guys, thank you everyone for watching. We have been Global Spec Racing. I have been Alicia007. Joining me in the comms box today has been Ryan Ocon. We've enjoyed having you watch the stream and enjoyed the racing. So, obviously Tier 1 is in, I want to say, an hour or so. What time is it now?
Oh, it's 8:30.
Tier 1 in...
Wait,
Tier
so
1's in about an
15
hour.
minutes? Isn't
Is
it?
it?
I thought Tier 1 was at 9.
30 minutes. 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
So, yeah.
30 minutes, right. Right, yeah. Tier 1...
That's nice.
Tier 1's in 30 minutes. Ryan and... is it J&T you're in the comms box with this
No, it's
today?
Thrasher.
Okay.
So, yeah. And it might be
So,
Davis, because
Ryan
Davis is
and
trying to
Thrasher-
commentate as well with that. He's trying to see, well, it's based off of admin approval, what that does. But yeah, anyway, go ahead.
Ryan and Thrasher will be in the comms box for Tier 1, and then we will have Tier 4 tomorrow at 8:30. So, thank you anyway, guys, for watching. We've been Global Spec Racing. Go check out SilentX Energy, and goodbye.